It's a weird one. A lot of people think I fake my accent, but I promise you I'm not.
Well, if you're faking
Um,
it, you're doing a very good job of it.
I have a very good dialect coach, you know.
Well, I suppose once the music starts blowing up even more, you'll be able to hire like a dialect coach to go with you on tour, and then you will sound like someone like me whenever you play over here in Ireland.
I know you gotta relate to the audience that you're playing, you know.
Hey, I'm Baby Queen.
Hi, I'm Kitty Beza.
Hey, this is Ram McMullen.
Hi guys, Lara here.
Hey, I'm Jim from Koala.
Hi, I'm Astrides.
And you are listening to Léim Thart.
And you're listening to Léim Thart.
And you're listening to Léim Thart.
It's out now.
I really hope you enjoy it.
So enjoy.
In the middle of a crazy ass year, I want to welcome Benjamin Steer onto Léim Thart. What's the crack?
Things are good, man. I'm enjoying life. I'm yeah, trying to conquer the music world, in it, I guess. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. I liked your very clear mission statement there. Conquer the music world.
You gotta have objectives, but it's baby steps, baby steps.
Baby steps, and you are having a crazy year, as I already said. Over 20 million streams to date. You had your EP Figuring It Out in August, and your first headline shows sold out, by the way. We will get to that. How have you kept things as crazy in a good way, but not crazy in the right way at the same time, amidst all this?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think certainly, yeah, the last year, the last 6 months in particular have been pretty mental. Like I'm still quite new to the music world, and so everything for me is like wow. Like I'm constantly like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this has happened or this has happened. So been lots of moments where I'm sort of relishing, but also like I think with when you're in music and you always are wanting the next the next thing, you like relish 50%, but then you also put your head down and realize like sometimes, these things don't last. So you gotta keep on going, keep releasing music, keep putting out things that are interesting and that capture people's attention, I guess. Um, so yeah, it's been really fun and I can't wait for what's next, I guess.
For sure. Now, from my reading, I heard that you're originally from the States and that you're now based in the UK. But I was very surprised when we first started talking there in a UK accent. Do you have UK family, or is this something that came up since you moved?
No, so before I lived in the US, I lived in the UK and my dad's English. But I sort of slip in between. Sometimes I kind of like have a bit of an American twang. Sometimes it's English. Whenever I meet people for the first time, I always go full English and it's like very unconscious because it's like my protective accent. Like whenever I'm nervous, I'm always, not that I'm nervous, but whenever I'm like on stage, I'm like the poshest sounding English prick you could possibly imagine. But when I'm like had a few pints, I'm basically full American. So it's a bit weird. But yeah, I grew up in the US until I was 18 and then came to the UK for university. And then after university, moved down to London, where I live now with my sister. So it's a family affair. But interestingly, my sister, who had the exact same kind of like path as me, has it sounds totally American. So it's like, I don't know. People think that we grew up in different places.
Whoa, that's kind of crazy. It reminds me, I actually have a friend from Italy. He's from Naples, and we first met him, me and my friends, in Amsterdam. In the middle of the night, we were trying to get tracked down where the night bus was because we went to a
Yeah.
stop, but there was construction there, and we didn't realize it had been diverted for those few weeks. He starts talking to us, but he sounded full Scottish because he moved to Scotland for university and kind of learned a lot of his English there. But I didn't hear that he was Italian until like after we had said goodbye. And I was just
Yeah,
like, you would have me fully convinced that you grew up in Edinburgh.
I know. It's a weird one. A lot of people think I fake my accent, but I promise you, I'm not.
Well, if you're faking
Um,
it, you're doing a very good job of it.
I have a very good dialect coach, you know.
Well, I suppose once the music starts blowing up even more, you'll be able to hire like a dialect coach to go with you on tour, and then you will sound like someone like me whenever you play over here in Ireland.
I know you gotta relate to the audience that you're playing, you know.
You'll blend right in between the accent and like the white knit jumper. That has to be in
I
the
know,
suitcase.
I know, exactly. I felt like this was very fitting, although I am wearing like an LA hat which says Sunset Oil. But
Ah,
yeah.
you'll be fine. And now the new single, Miracle, very heartfelt, very hopeful. Even though on socials you said that you're now at the sad other side of it. What made you want to release that one now?
Well, as with a lot of my music, it sort of comes from the trials and tribulations of young love, which this one was following that theme pretty perfectly. I would say um, yeah, my music is very honest to who I am, which is often like quite a hopeless romantic and look in search for love, baby. Um, and yeah, I wrote this one only a few months ago about someone that I was like, wow, this is like amazing. This situation is going to be so amazing. And then as these things go, fell to pieces, but got a great song out of it. But it always is a bit weird because if you write songs that are like quite honest to your life, and then you have to put them out after things have either gone really well or really bad, it's always a bit weird because you're kind of like trying to sell the idea of a miracle and you don't have it anymore. Sad face. But I think what I realized, and not to be super sappy, but I think it's probably true, is like there are there are there are miracles all around your life. And the song is like very universally applicable. So yes, it was written about this situation, but I feel incredibly blessed in my life, the situation that I'm in with a great family and great friends and great like support system fans who who have yeah completely changed my life. So I kind of like view the song totally differently now, which is nice. I think I no longer think about the fact that I wrote it about the situation. And this often happens when you write songs. Like you'll, I think, as a songwriter, your goal is to take like a nugget of emotion and extrapolate it into this like massive feeling of like love or heartbreak or you know desperation, and then as the song gets released into the world, it's like no longer yours. So yeah, I don't have huge emotional attachment in the way that I had when I wrote it. I feel like it's not my song anymore, you know?
But isn't it that thing that they say for that architects have that perspective of like, I'm gonna butcher the wording of it now, but it's like there's cathedrals everywhere for those with eyes to see.
Yeah, yeah. I think like when you release, like I wrote the song and then I made it, and I probably spent, you know, 15 hours on the production of the song, and then I listened to it like 40 times before it was released. But then the moment it was released, I never listened to it again. And if you think about it, like within the first day or the first few hours, the time that other people have listened to it completely like overshadows the time that you spent on it. So from like a from like an ownership standpoint of the song, like it's the eyes of the beholder. It's no longer you anymore. And so yeah, that's kind of how I approach it. And I really want to continue to create things that are in the service of the listener because well, if I only made music for myself, no one would listen to it, which means that I wouldn't have a career. So, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but yeah, I really love that song. I think I'm like it's one of the proudest songs I've written. I just feel like it's kind of it's right on the lane that I feel like suits what I want to say and what I want, the message I want to give off and sonically. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to put out more that sounds similar but different.
No, hard to relate. It's the same with all of these Léim Thart chats. I listen to them over and over, and then they're out, and it's never again. But it's the same as what you say, where it's in service of the listener and wanting them to have the best experience possible when they have their headphones in, or they're in the car, or they have their Bluetooth speaker playing. And you've been meeting all these listeners at all these shows you've had. You've had support from Myles Smith, Kingfishr, who are huge here, AJR as well. And you're on tour with Arthur Hill opening the show, including Academy Dublin and the legendary Brixton Academy this month. You also sold out the Grace over summer in London, and then just recently Omeara in London as well. This is a complete sidetrack, but I have to say the Grace has like my favorite ceiling of any venue. If anyone hasn't been there, it's just all these half disco balls lined up like constellations.
Yeah, it is. They're both cool venues. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Like I'm not going to pretend like I do. I think I'm continuously kind of surprised by like the opportunities that I'm getting, and I'm just trying to enjoy them as much as I can. And I think the support shows as well, like all these huge artists, like to be able to play alongside them, but also like consider them friends as well. And you learn so much from them, I think both professionally, which they're obviously, insanely successful, and you can take a lot from that. But also like personally, like the way that they conduct themselves, the way they interact with people, and their audience is like it's like really inspiring. And like I find that these like support runs or shows like some of the most like helpful for how I conduct myself and my career, and how you react to levels of success or fallbacks or whatever. And Kingfishr boys, like they were my first, literally I signed to a label and like never had played to any crowd ever apart from my mum in my living room. And the
Can't
first
knock
show
that.
exactly, honestly, high pressure. My mom is a high pressure audience. um and yeah, played like on their, I think it was their second or their first proper like UK run. And like the first venue we played was like King Tut in Glasgow, which is like quite an iconic venue.
Nice.
And like I was like a deer in headlights, like baptism of fire completely. But they were just like so unbelievably nice. And like I think any successful artist, usually they are kind of just like continuously gobsmacked by like why they're here. And they are like, they're so talented, and so everyone else knows why they're there, but they themselves are like, what's going on here? And I sometimes feel that a lot with different situations I'm in, and I'm like, I'm just a kid, man. Like I just write songs in my bedroom, and like all of a sudden there are all these people who are singing along to my music. And yeah, saw them in LA like a couple of weeks ago play the Troubadour, which was like another insanely,
Another crazy venue, yeah.
and so they're checking off all these like badass venues, and they're still exactly the same people. And yeah, I'm really excited about the Arthur Hill run. Arthur seems like an awesome guy. I've never actually met him in person, but based on the conversations we've had, it's should be great. Should be great. I'm hyped.
Well, I suppose like the talent and the hard work, of course, is a big part of it, and it can bring you success, but it's like having a good attitude is what actually will keep the success for you.
Yeah.
And I know people seem to be really popping off to Miracle live at the shows because I can really hear the sing along of a crowd to that chorus. And that's something that definitely on this side of the Atlantic that we like to do a lot of. A lot of group
Yeah,
singing.
yeah, it's well, I mean, the song only came out like two, almost 3 weeks ago, and like the headline show was last week, and like you know, pretty much everyone was singing along, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I just feel incredibly fortunate, and I'm excited to keep releasing music because I think people are relating to it in a way that I never expected, and hopefully I have more to say. I hope I have more to say.
I'm definitely sure you will. Who are you listening to yourself these days?
I weirdly like I listen to music that isn't in my genre because I feel like I
Oh,
listen to my
talk to me. Go on.
I listen, I mean, I think I'm like really into, I mean, this is kind of my genre, but like I'm really into like country music right now, like or like I know some people would say that Zach Bryan isn't country, but in my mind, he's pretty country, like poppy country. Um, and then I like listen to a bunch of random stuff. Like, I listen to a lot of like electronic music, and I listen to there's this French artist called Stromae who
Oh, love him.
literally loves Stromae. Listen to like John Bellion's new album a lot, and yeah, I don't really like. I feel like I hear so much like folk pop because that's all I'm trying to, that's kind of the lane that I'm in.
Yeah.
And so whenever I get the chance, I like simply don't listen to my style of music, which actually maybe I probably should because it might help me make better versions of it. But I don't know. I think you can take inspiration from anything. And I think like the best feeling is like when you listen to something that you know you couldn't do. Like I listened to a Stromae song and like he's like sampling you know, like some Southeast or like some Mongolian steel drum. And it's like I'm never gonna put a Mongolian steel drum in my song. But like I listen to it and I'm like, how did he come up with that? And then it like gives you this like burning desire inside of you to like go into a studio and like make something that someone will listen to you and be like, how did he come up with that? Like, and so the inspiration comes like in any facet, and then I kind of narrow it down to what I'm trying to do, I suppose.
No, I definitely understand that because a lot of the chatter online these days is wondering how like ROSALÍA did that on Lux with all of this like classical but then electronic as well and in so many languages. I feel like we might just start seeing a lot of string sections come into music next year.
I think, yeah,
And I'm all for it.
yeah, exactly. Like I haven't actually listened to that album cover to cover, but I've been seeing so much like clips about it, and like it's just so like who comes up with that? She must have like, I mean, she's incredible, and I could definitely not do what she's doing, but like hearing that, I'm sure, it's just usually inspiring for people to like go and try something crazy because um, you know, if people like it, people like it.
And people are definitely liking it.
Exactly.
Now, on the way, as tender as Miracle was, when you released it, along with saying that you were on the other side of the story, you said, enough of the sappy stuff, the next one is going to be an FU song, so strap up and wipe your tears. What can we expect from the next bits of music, Benjamin Steer?
Wow, yeah. I don't know whether the next one will be an FU song, but um I think it's always interesting. I mean, this is like a broader point, but like sometimes I feel when I'm sitting in my room writing these like or like in a studio writing these like incredibly heartfelt love songs, I'm like, should I be exposing myself like this much? Like I should probably be like, the cool, like I've got my life figured out type thing. But And so sometimes I catch myself in moments when I'm like releasing Miracle where I'm like being super heartfelt, and then I'm like, oh yeah, but actually I should probably like pretend like I'm fine. Obviously people love like I try to be as authentic as I can, and I think other people really relate to the sort of uncertainty of life, and like so that is very much who I am. It's the sensitive kind of like side of it. But yeah, I mean musically I think I write all sorts of songs, and the next one the next one is well, I think the next one is actually probably it's a little bit of an FU song. It's not like a straight FU song, but it's more in the FU song lane. And then I think when, an album comes out, there'll be a bit of everything. Because I've written the fair share of FUs. I wrote a song called Judas about my best mate
Whoa.
with my ex-girlfriend. So, you know, there's emotion, there's happy, there's loving, there's a little bit of hate. But
And we're here today to announce the brand new single Judas coming out tomorrow.
yeah. So it's I think it's I think a lot of my music is just like a reflection of where I am in my life, and right now I'm pretty I think I'm pretty content, and so I want to like be honest with how I'm feeling, but I think life is stressful, and there's I think in a lot of my music there's always like a bit of a twist, like an uncertainty twist, like even in Miracle, like the line is I might have met a miracle in you because you might change my life, but it's like that level of uncertainty, which is like you don't want to my bad habit is like I think I've met a miracle, they are the miracle, she is the miracle, I'm just gonna put down literally every aspect of my life in service to like this miracle, and then when it falls apart you're kind of a bit of an emotional wreck, and then you might write an FU song, even though maybe that's not the reality of the situation, but you have to write it to make yourself feel better about the fact that it wasn't your fault or whatever. So um yeah, I think we'll see some FU songs coming through at some point.
That's good. Poetic license is allowed, and long may the audience relate to all of it. Loads on the way. Thank you, Benjamin Steer, coming on to Léim Thart to talk. New single Miracle out now. Plenty of shows on the way, and we can't wait to see what happens.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure and an honor.